welcome back to another episode of the Downhill Rally course. If you're unfamiliar with the track that we're going to be dealing with, please check out the episode before. This first car is the Hillclimb spec of the SBR4. Now, this car, I decided, let's go for some extreme things this time around. So we've got what should be an incredibly downforcey vehicle. We're driving it down a hill. Not intended for down a hill. Intended for climbing. So it does come with its own set of issues, though I didn't anticipate the issues. And the first couple times out, you can see here I ended up jumping the cliff. What was happening is I did not expect the car to be quite so understeery or to have such strong brakes, and this is something that I'm just getting used to, because not only do some of these cars have really powerful brakes, but they're also going down a hill, which then amplifies the issue. This car happens to be also quite powerful, and some of the issues I had was that I wasn't realizing quite how fast I was going. It's just, I'm used to slightly slower vehicles, because that's what I enjoy. You see this car, it was so messed up, I wanted to see if it would spin itself, and it would, right into another tree. I had so many moments that this car I just lost control, because it had underpower oversteer. Well, power understeer, that's what it was. It's power understeer and off power oversteer if you get it wrong. And I started to get used to the car. I could get it through the top portions pretty consistent, but then I couldn't get the speed part. I thought I was going to launch off the bridge right there, and the car flew and is definitely not functioning quite correct anymore. I like the wobbling exhaust there. It was funny. Now, I wasn't perfect up here, but did get a pretty nice little slide and then failed immediately. Didn't realize that the car actually ended up a little bit damaged there, which kept making it pull a little bit, which isn't very good when you're going into that hairpin. Again, back down here in the high speed area, and just caught and dead, and it went for quite a flight. Ended up just dropping down, landing on this rock here. I was curious if it would move at all. It started, it sounded like it might, but everything underneath just completely ruined. Car's going nowhere. Again, trying to get used to the car, and a lot of times I was going way faster than I expected, because going down the hill it accelerates quickly as is. Then you give it down a hill and it accelerates like twice as fast. Not quite, but it was just so much more. You see I'm coming up into this corner going 130 and I just could not get the car slowed down. The brakes were not going to have any of that. I did also add down in the bottom left, you'll notice the gauges that show how much throttle and brake I'm applying. This time I clipped a rock, so yeah, it was on fire, and then it suddenly wasn't. And yeah, clipping the bridge. Thought the car was okay, but it wasn't. Pulled itself right off the track. Went for a new flight zone. Trying to cut the track, I guess. Still not done. Now we're in a different section, so hey, let's go down all the cliffs, right? Stopped by a tree. I was a little curious, does the car work? Yeah, kind of, but not really. and it just goes tumbling off. Now, I thought I was okay with that. I ended up skating across the rocks, thought I was good, then the car seemingly wouldn't turn, and I wedged myself on another rock. But the fire went out. That was weird. Coming up into the dirt. Now this was the part where I had almost forgotten about the dirt, and then I got here and went, oh shoot, I have to deal with that. Ended up braking soon enough, and the tree gave me instant karma for trying to cut the corner, or go wide on both. Here, it's got a bit of a slide, ended up going tumbling down the left side, again trying to cheat, but there is no track over here. Tried to get it out of the water, hoping it was going to be fine, and it died right before I cut. Did eventually get a good run out of this car. It took a few many tries of just getting the braking just wrong, and then off the track in a ditch, or a lot of times it would spin because it would, you know, I would not expect the speed, or the car was just locking up the brakes, and then I would try and recorrect, and it would just spin and stop. The car could take quite a lot of speed through these corners though, but you had to like really work with the car, and it did not want to play nicely with me going down the hills. Once we got out here though, it felt perfect. I imagine driving this car up a hill, it would feel fantastic, but down a hill, it did not. We have some really good speed there. Way late on the brakes, but managed to get it turned into the right zone. Now, this downhill always gets me really concerned with a car, especially if it's not designed for any kind of off-road. And this car is so low to the ground, definitely not intended to be driven on here. But it's handling its own, and it's actually able to keep up some pretty good speed back here. We're going over 50. That tree decided that the car was no longer allowed to have mega wing on it, and as expected, it's so low, it really did not like the water. And we come up to this area where every time I come through here, I just fear I'm going to pull a sunburst, and I really don't want that. And there we are, across the line, missing the mega wing, but it did in fact make it, and it kept its the front splitter, which is quite impressive considering I expected the dirt or something to rip it off. Trying to do donuts, ended up shutting the car off. Oops. But the second car we have going down the track is the Moonhawk Drag. Now, I am running these cars in whatever format that they come in when selected from the menu. So I'm not going in, I'm not tweaking them. That means if they come with a certain kind of transmission, that's the transmission I'm dealing with. If they come with brakes or whatever, that's what I'm dealing with. In this case, for whatever reason, this is a drag racing car with an automatic, which confuses me, but whatever, this is what we have, an automatic. Now, the Moonhawk, I love muscle cars. I'm much more comfortable with a muscle car over a very fast Downforce built race car. But this first run was kind of like I was just being careful, but also kind of trying to push it. because again, I want to really get the feel for the vehicle. And I made it surprisingly far. As you'll see, like, I was running pretty good. I thought I was going to clip those rocks, but I was in just the right line to miss them. Came down this bridge. Thought for sure I had gained too much speed, but no, I managed to actually get the braking spot correct. Again, trying to keep the wheels from spinning, because this car does have, you know, whatever the amount of power these cars get. And it's, they just want to wheel spin for days. Getting down the big straight here, going 120s. And the brakes were surprisingly good on this vehicle. Like, maybe it's because they're not quite as good, so they're less sharp. I don't really know, but I prefer that personally. I was really concerned getting it onto the dirt because that much power and dusty roads, it ends up not taking you home, as I found out here, where a rock decided to finish that run. I was kind of excited at that point because I thought for sure nothing could go wrong. I was like, oh, I've totally got this. It's going to be a first run vehicle, yes. Well, it didn't. Then I was just messing around to see if the power would still work. I hooked it into a tree. Great. Well, that was the end of the first run. Unfortunately, after that, I really thought I was going to get it good. It turns out, this car has two modes. Really well handling, or completely destroying itself. No in between. Here you see it just exploded when I clipped that rock. After the first run, I really expected the car to be perfect. Like, I thought I was going to have it for sure. Nope. Rock took the wheel, it spun, nails the bridge. That doesn't look good. Does the car still work, though? Can it move at all? Well, the engine works, but it has no drive shaft. Those rocks, because I was trying to move so fast through that section, they claim the car's run so many times. I love that the hood was still hanging out there, though. Did manage to get it down here, and then I tapped that. I thought the car would be okay. It's a pretty strong car, but it actually couldn't turn anymore, and there goes the wheel. It really didn't take a lot to get this car through, but when it failed, it failed just spectacularly. Again, created a rock flag, but I had hit reset too fast. The car wanting to show, hey look, let's have a little fun and go for a roll. Why not, right? This is the first here. The car, I caught too much power, hit the first bridge. That's the good part. Again, the car really didn't take too much effort from me to get it through the course. It just took a little bit of patience in some areas, so I didn't get the car going sideways and upside down. Now, a lot of the runs through this hairpin, I could actually get on the gas and actually slide it through there, but sometimes it'd leave me a little funny coming up through here. And, you know, it's maintaining good 80s, but the other car was running 90, almost 100 through that corner. But coming up here, it was going over 100. And the drag car managed to get it, but it just couldn't. We got back out on this straight, and I wanted to really see how much this car could do. And there we go, that's the fastest running time, 140. Well, over 140 coming down to there. I actually got a really good stopping, too, onto the dirt, but the car wanted to do a little bit of funny business. Again, coming down to the dirty hairpin, I get really scared every time I come up there in any kind of car that isn't built for it. Drag cars, definitely not built for it. It wasn't too bad because it does have a nice higher ride height and kind of bounces along a little bit, but it's definitely not carrying the amount of speed that the SBR4 was. And then a little bit of float across the water, definitely not hindered by it, unlike the SBR4. The Moonhawk drag has a lot of turn-in, so you can really shift the car around, and I was really impressed overall with that. And then we got it out on the straight, and I said, well, lower it to the line, and there you have it. Just it decided it needed another rock for lunch, I guess. But yeah, fantastic car. I had a great time driving it, but again, I love muscle cars, so you give me something that's V8 rear-wheel drive, I'm gonna be in love. The final car we have this time is a full-blown 18-wheeler. So it's got the T-Series, the T75 Special up front, pulling a 26,000-pound trailer, or 25,800 kilogram, not pound, but just under 26,000 kilos of weight. That's a lot of weight, not accounting for the truck itself. So this run, you're gonna notice it's gonna be very quiet aside from the air brake sounds, because it's not so much about how fast you can drive the vehicle in this case. It's how good are these brakes. Thankfully, they're quite good, so it could actually get going around the track, but as you can see from the speedometer over there, it's definitely not going the speed of anything else. I believe even the trash can was going faster. I had a lot of moments, though, where the truck would come out of there and the trailer would slide like that, so I'd have to try and catch it. Because again, I'm trying to push this thing as hard as I can, but it is still 26,000 kilos of weight, and it just went over. And you can see it's yeah, it hangs itself up, and you can see the stuff inside of it. So it is loaded down with weight. What I ended up doing a lot of times is going down the mountain, I would just shift the truck into like 8th or 9th. That was the most amazing explosion the truck's trailer had. It just went over, clipped the rocks, and parts are everywhere. But yeah, I would shift the truck down into like 7th, you'll notice here. I'd put it into like 7th or 8th so that I could actually get it to carry speed without destroying the engine, because that's going to be needed later. Again, trying to carry too much speed flips the truck. Now, some things happened with this thing. I'm not really sure. I guess I must have bumped a button or something, but I don't have my keyboard next to me when I'm driving, so I really don't know how that occurred. The mouse, I noticed, was on the screen because I usually roll the camera up a little bit so I can get a better viewpoint. Tried to move the mouse. It was a little bad timing on that because it had me on the wrong line, which meant I was turning way too sharp into that corner. Here we were getting the truck going down the bridge and, you know, having to shift down real quick, get it going in here. I was really trying to keep it wide so I didn't clip the bridge with the back of the trailer, but I also wanted to get the truck turned in, and that's a very sharp turn in something so large. Turns out the front of the truck went a little bit further down the hill than I thought. Rolled it. You can see here again, I've got the truck in 8th gear because we're going down the hill. Shifted it up to 9th because I really don't want to have the engine brake. Thought I could try and catch it, but once that weight shifts, it's way too late. You are not recovering that. Again, got it down into the dirt, tried to get it to go around. Turns out the front was a little wide and it wasn't going to work. So, you know, tried to back the truck up, it rolled forward. I said, okay, you know what, fine, I'll roll it into the water and try and drive it. But the trailer said, nope, you're not gonna take too wide of a line flipping. Trailer doing some funny things here. Again, we come down this corner and just open the thing up like a can opener on the bridge. No, the trailer tapped a little bit. For whatever reason, it went sliding. I tried to recover it, but instead, the entire truck goes tumbling down the mountain. Could have been a much further tumble, I suppose, but wasn't bad. There you can see me adjusting the camera because I really wanted to get that better viewpoint. I wanted a better judge of distance of how far out the truck was. And the standard view is so low that I really couldn't get a good view. Again, throw the truck up into 8th because I just want to let the engine do its thing. Now, I'm sure this is not how a real truck driver would take one of these down the mountain, but, you know, we're trying to get it down quickly, so we gotta take all the tricks we can. Unfortunately, it does take a while because any sort of speed is just gonna take the top and throw it over, and that's it. Got down the hairpin, not too bad. I was pretty good coming through these first few corners. It really didn't bother the truck too bad as long as you weren't going absurdly fast, which it does accelerate pretty quick as it's rolling down the hill. The incline, or the decline, the decline is pretty steep, so it is building up all this speed. Again, getting on the brakes because I really don't want to strip the truck. Now finally, once we get down here, I can actually put the truck under its own power, getting it up to a good 55 before we're wanting to slow it down because, again, this corner you could take a little faster. You didn't notice I'm still running 33 around it, going on a little out. But now I've got to hook the truck into the left and all the way around to the right. And those G's would just throw the trailer over. So, got to get the truck slowed down to about 10. Drop it down through the gears so I can actually use the truck's power and push it down the bridge. For what it's worth, the T75 is a very, very powerful truck. However, weighed down with 26,000 kilograms, it's not going to go very quickly. It does get its own speed up to, we got 38 here, and then we got to try and get it slowed down because really don't want to carry 38 onto this little turn in here. Heading down to the hairpin. Barely even crawling down here, but again, I really didn't want to roll the truck. It's the biggest concern, and it was so easy to roll it. And as soon as you come onto the dirt, the truck is just getting pushed down with all the weight. Now trying to hang out as wide as I can to get it turned around this corner, so I kind of end up coming to a full stop. But I was really concerned. I didn't want to have a repeat of what sent me into the river. I'm trying to get the truck to turn and turn and turn, and okay, I feel good enough. Let's drag it, get it back into gear. At that point, I've got to go all the way back down through the gears because I kind of put it way too high. Realistically though, the time for this doesn't matter. You notice I was moving the camera around again with the mouse, so the mouse is kind of hanging out. There it goes. On the dirt, the truck didn't feel any different than on the road. Go figure. Let's see, what kind of speed can we get this thing to go to? Keeping it around 20. Again, 26,000 kilograms being pulled across the dirt. There's not a lot of speed to be had when you're talking that much weight. Let's see, will the truck be affected by the water? No, not at all. It's going 26 through the water. I come around this corner and I started remembering, oh god, I'm in a 18-wheeler and I'm rolling up to this hill. Oh, I'm gonna need to be careful. I don't want to hook the wheels or tip it over now. That would be the worst. When I come up to the hill and something happened I wasn't expecting. It couldn't make it. It just, under its own power, did not have enough to pull that amount of weight up the hill. It's still going pretty okay right now, so I had hope. I really did. I thought maybe, okay, we can crawl up it going 2. But it made it. Well, it wasn't going to have any of that, so it had to be, brought back down and taken back up. And it just wasn't going to make it. So I ended up deciding, okay, you get magic helping hand. Let me grab it. Oh, nope, lost the hood. That's fine. Just drag the truck up. It'll be fine. Nope, still doesn't want to go. Drag it up a little more. Can it go? Yes, it can. All right. Finally, the truck manages to start climbing on its own again. Thank goodness. I was really concerned at that point. Still counting this as a DNF because, well, it couldn't do it on its own. Go figure. But, it does end up getting eventually across the line in an excruciatingly long amount of time. Every minute that went by where I wasn't succeeding and getting this truck down the hill it just felt so long every time. At this point, I was like, well, I can't really pull donuts, and I'm not going to release the trailer. The trailer's the whole part of it. Let me see if I can jackknife the trailer off. No, it wouldn't. Yeah, it was just done right there. It wasn't going to do anything. But we have the times here. The drag Moonhawk came in with a 10:17:30, or 2:17:36. Oh my goodness, 10. That's the slowest thing yet. No, but it does make itself first place. The Hillclimb SBR4, 2:19:63, and the track trailer came in at 7 minutes of DNF. See y'all next time. Have a good one.